Aloha, welcome to the 16th episode of the 9th series of the Temple of Surf, the podcast. Today with us is the Lords of the Ding, Mauricio De Souza. We discuss with him about surfboard, glassing, repairing surfboard, and much more. Hi Mauricio, welcome to the show. Where are you today?
I'm good. I'm in San Diego, California.
That's cool. How is the surf nowadays over there? Winter?
It's been windy. It's been very stormy here. We had a great run of waves 3 weeks ago. Really good waves. Incredible swell. One of the biggest waves I've seen in since I moved to California in '94. Really massive swell. Yes.
Not bad. Even we're far from San Diego, but I heard that they stopped the Pipeline Pro because of the surf was too big.
I know. Yes. Yeah.
That was unusual.
Yeah.
Unless it's something that those voices that go around in Instagram, everybody believes in it, and I don't know if they really did. But, I've seen it, let's say, somewhere. So I should check this fact-checking right after the interview.
Right.
So today we're going to talk about many things. In effect, also, we were exploring something that is not usual in the podcast, because in the podcast I talk, of course, with surfers, surfboard shaper, but we never talk about glassing, repairing, so it's an angle that is quite important as well for the industry and for us.
For the industry, exactly. Absolutely. Yes.
So, because without glassing, there is no surfboard as well.
Exactly. And repairing is so important for the life of a surfboard and for the continuation of the surfer to be enjoying that board, that magic board. And people don't give much credit for the repair guys out there,
So we're trying with this episode of the podcast to try to give back credit to the people that need to have credit, and who better than the Lord of the Ding to be.
Thank you, Alessandro. Thank you.
To be telling us your story. So, but before we talk about you, first question, everybody has the same. In your opinion, what is the most important thing in surfing?
In surfing, it's enjoy each wave you catch every day, respect each other, realize that it's a gift from God. It's a gift that we should never take for granted. It's a lifestyle. It's something that it's my lifestyle. I went through different directions in my life, but every time I came back to surfing and the surfing industry, it's been my passion since I was 13, 12 years old.
Wow. Yes. So you kind of open up the second question that I had for who doesn't know you. So you're coming from Brazil, right? So
yes, I was born in Brazil.
And you started to surf to 12, 13 years old?
I started surfing very tip of South Brazil. I got my styrofoam. I don't know if you remember in the 70s, they used to sell those styrofoam boards in the supermarkets.
Yeah.
And my father my parents got me and my brother one, and we went to this very choppy ocean in the tip of South Brazil, almost Uruguay, on the coast of the last state on the bottom of Brazil, called Atlântida, the beach of Atlântida in Capão da Canoa. Choppy, not that glassy, but we were catching white water, like the wave after it breaks it. And it like every beginning of a surfer starts, on a white water. And I remember catching my first wave, and that was it. That was it. Yeah. Catching white water for a few years. And then we moved to Rio de Janeiro in 1974. 74, 75, and we moved to. My father got this place in front of an incredible beach break in Rio de Janeiro, and we surfed every day, pretty much every day.
Okay. So I guess surfing every day is a good recipe to become world champion since a lot of Brazilians are on top of the world today, right?
Yes, but I never became a world champion.
Oh,
I just,
no.
my brother was good. My brother got really good at surfing.
Okay.
I didn't get that good, but I enjoy every wave I surfed. I enjoy every day, you know.
As long we enjoy,
Yeah,
that's what really matters, you know. We are
exactly.
Actually, we are all a bit world champion, you know. We tell to our friends when you go back to shore, I catch that wave, you know, that was amazing, you know. In a certain way, we are all sometimes we have our proud moment, you know, or our story to tell to tell.
Yeah.
You know?
And that wave that no one saw it.
Exactly.
Did you see that? Oh my God. What were you looking at? I got that wave. The wave that no one ever saw.
It's a good title for a podcast, you know. Like if I restart again, I will call it "The Wave That Nobody Saw," and
Nobody's ever saw it.
and you know, and we start with that. Okay, so you know, from Brazil, then I read a little bit on your website to New York, and New York to California.
Right.
How's this journey for you? Because not all the time in your life you had the opportunity to stay closer to the ocean, isn't it?
Yeah, when I moved to New York, well, what happened was I went to vet school. I learned how to repair boards from a friend when I was during high school. And so I was repairing boards in my parents' garage. I had this guy, Pepe Lopez. He was a huge jump from my small business, you know, in my parents' garage. Pepe Lopez was this incredible surfer from Brazil. That he was on the tour at the time was what ASP. I don't remember in the 70s, and he got to the semi-final or final in Pipeline. I remember. So he was a very popular surfer. And when he came back from Hawaii, he brought me a board. He's like, "Oh, my next door neighbor here, he lived a block away from me." He's like, "Oh, here's a board. Can you fix it?" It's like, "Yes, I can." It's Pepe Lopez. So I'm gonna do my best. So I fixed his board. I even color matched his board. It was my first color matching. And from there on, I noticed that he told all his friends about my work and all that. And he was a very popular surfer in Rio. So a lot of guys were bringing boards to me, and yeah, that was really my start off. You know, my kicking my butt. Go ahead, follow. This is your dream. You know, that was my passion from day one. You know, from my first customer, I really fell in love with surfboard repair. And I guess it's your first experience will lead your way through success. You know, if you have that great experience, that feeling that you succeeded, you know, like, oh my God, it's my work. It's been seen, and people are putting value to it, and that's really important to, you know, to carry on
Yeah, it's the
to the next level.
it's the recognition of the surfers, you know, the peers, of the shapers, you know, that brings you, that motivates, I guess, every day, right?
Yeah, and so I was starting, you know, getting a lot of guys to bring boards to my parents' house, which my parents weren't that happy about it. I was like, oh my God, what are you going to put all those boards? And so I was fixing boards, and then I went to vet school, went to veterinary school, because my parents, you know, my parents always, what are you going to do with your life? What are you going to do with your life? You're not going to be repairing boards all your life. So, okay, let me go to vet school. So I went to vet school, 2 years of vet school, and I realized, man, I'm going nowhere here. I don't, you know, I want to, my body was at the university, you know, but my mind was on surfing always. I couldn't, you know, I would leave the vet school. The university was 2 hours away from Rio, you know, far from the beach. But it was hard. It was really hard for me. really hard to be away from the beach. So 2 years later, I noticed that I wasn't going anywhere. I was going to spend 10 years in that university and not be surfing, not being close to the ocean. So I quit that school, went home, spent a whole year just surfing, doing nothing but surfing. So that's when my parents approached me, and they were very supportive of me. And they never put any pressure. I know behind, you know, my eyes, they were really concerned about my life. But if I was happy, they were happy. That's what I noticed about my parents. And so they approached me and said, would you like to go join your brother? My brother was in New York already with a cousin. And I say, yeah. I had some money saved from my dinghy repair business. So, yeah, I left my first girlfriend, which wasn't easy for her. and left my life in Rio and went to start a new journey in New York City.
Fantastic. And tell me something.
I left in the middle of the summer. It was summertime in Rio, which is really hot, And I landed in New York on a brutal winter. Brutal. It was like 6 feet of snow on the ground, and it was really cold. But I was young. I was 23, and when you were that age, everything that's new was exciting. Nothing puts you down, and it was exciting. 2 years in New York, and
But
enjoying. Go ahead.
Tell me something. Before we go back to your career, let's talk a little bit of you as a surfer. What was your first dream surfboard that you were able to get? And if you maybe perhaps you still have it, okay? And then I will ask you. We're gonna shift to waves, and I will ask you what is the best wave of your life. So let's start with the surfboard. What was your dream surfboard? The one of you had dreamed to buy, to have?
I never had a dream surfboard, to be honest.
Okay.
I remember my first surfboard, my first real board, my first custom board. I was 15 years old. Mario Bração in Barra da Tijuca, where in Rio. He was the only shaper on that era, in the early 70s there. He was making boards to all the kids. And that was my first custom board. That was awesome, So white with this, how do you call this? Purple. I remember it was a purple and blue lines coming from the nose and going all the way to the tail, like buttons, buttons from Hawaii had those fishes in the 70s. And it was white with purple and blue. I love that board. Just because it was my first custom board, But my first ever surfboard after I left the styrofoam board was a Dick Brewer. Brewer. It was all yellow, all like a buttered yellow old board that me and my brother started surfing on. We bought from this guy in Rio. I don't remember, but it was a big board for us back then. Today it was probably a 6'8". We don't know. It was a single fin Dick Brewer.
Wow.
I wish I had kept that board. Yeah. That was awesome. Yeah.
Straight to legendary shaper, huh? I mean,
yeah. We didn't know at the time. We didn't know it was a legendary shape. We didn't know who Dick Brewer was.
Oh, okay. Yeah. At the time, with no Instagram, unless you were reading Surfer magazine, really, really deeply, maybe it was difficult to understand who he really.
Oh, yes, definitely.
There is a different story. Everybody knows it. It's died recently, but it's such a legend.
I know, and I got to meet him a year before he passed. A year before he passed, I took a picture of him.
Master of Shape. What is the? He came to San Diego, right?
He came to San Diego to the boardroom show.
Yeah, the boardroom show. Yes.
Yeah, 3 years ago. I believe it was 3 years ago, and I took a picture with him and say, "Hey, Dick, you at my first board." was one of yours. But at that time, he wasn't really understanding much. It was the end of his life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm happy you had the opportunity to meet him and you took a picture. That means a lot. I hope you frame it somewhere in your place.
It was like a full circle for me. First sport ever, and then I meet him right before he dies. It was like a full circle. It was amazing. Amazing moments.
And so if we shift to the wave, I mean, not the one that nobody saw. I hope so. Maybe. What was the best wave of your life?
I believe it was my first white water that I caught. That you never forget.
Okay. It's
Standing up and riding all the way to shore. And that was just a magical moment. It was a magical moment, and then Scorpion Bay, maybe this incredible ride I got at Scorpion Bay in Baja California, probably. But I got so many good waves in my life that I don't really have, one to remember, except my first white waters waves.
Good enough for me.
Yeah.
And so we were in New York, right? And
Yeah.
you go from New York to San Diego. In New York, you were repairing boats, right?
In New York, no, I got to repair some boats at a place called City Island, right off the coast of the Bronx.
Okay.
And beautiful place. You go from the Bronx, which is poverty, and drugs and all that, and go over the bridge, and it's like an upscale thing, nice marinas and restaurants. So I was working there in a restaurant, and then I went to a marina and I say, hey, I can repair boats. You guys need anyone? And they say, oh yeah, we got a few dinghies there. You can try out. So I did a few repairs there, nothing substantial.
Okay.
Yeah.
How you ended up being in San Diego then?
So what happened was, when I was in New York, I lived with a bunch of surfers there, guys from Rio, and we all got a house together. They moved to Hawaii.
Okay.
And San Diego. I met a girl. I moved to Connecticut. So kind of lost my way there. So I lived a few years in Connecticut, which I don't mention that to too many people. I lived a different side of life. I was like, okay, let me explore something else rather than surfing and waves. So I went to a photography school in New York before I went to Connecticut. And I moved to Connecticut. I worked as a freelance photographer for the local paper in Hartford, Connecticut. I had a few relationships there. Beautiful states, really beautiful, but cold, man, super cold. And I bought a motorcycle, which was my dream, to have a bike, and I rode it to Canada, all over Connecticut, all over New England. It was a different years of my life, something that I enjoyed.
Okay.
But I knew it had its time to finish, And I think it's valid in everyone's life to try something else, to see other things in life, because there's so many things to be seen in life. We love surfing. I know we do love, it's our passion.
Yeah.
But it's worth to take 2 or 3 years of our lives to see something else, to experience something else.
Okay.
Surfing is always going to be there. Can always go back to surfing, And I never regret those years. Never. It was good.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And then in the middle of a winter, I was in Connecticut. It was 11 o'clock, and I was having I was fighting with this girlfriend I had, and then 11:30 at night, one night, snowing outside. I grabbed my car. I grabbed my surfboard that I still had with me. I put inside my Camaro. It was a tip-top Camaro. I threw inside my car, man. And I just took off at 11:30 at night, man. I don't remember what night it was. And I just say, I'm out of here. I cannot stand this anymore. I'm out of here. So I drove from Connecticut to San Diego in 3.5 days.
Wow. Nice
Yeah.
journey. Nice journey. I guess like some people maybe saw you at 11:30 at night with a surfboard and a Camaro, and they said, "What this guy is doing?" Maybe want to try to do snowboarding with a surfboard. I don't know.
With a surfboard. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But man, I'll tell you what, it was a good time that I never regret, but I never look back.
Yeah.
I would never look back. No. Yeah.
It was too cold anyway, so
Too cold. No way, no surfing, too cold. I learned how to ski though. I learned how to ski. It was fun.
okay.
Yeah, a beautiful state, but it had its time. It was done.
Great. And so how then does start the adventure of the Lord of the Dings?
I moved to California in 94, to San Diego in 1994. And I was working in a restaurant as a bartender. But I had to start my business. I had to go back to my dinghy repair business. So one day I was at Wind and Sea.
Okay, nice.
Watching the surfing. It was a good day, and I saw this broken board washing up on shore, this broken and a half longboard. So I ran to the owner of the board and I said, "Hey, can I fix your board, man?" And he looked at me like, "Who the hell is this guy?" So he's like, "Yeah, go ahead, take it." I was going to trash anyways. So I took the two pieces to my garage, start researching, going to surf shops and asking, where can I buy resin? Where can I buy fiberglass? Where can I buy all the materials to fix this board? So I ended up at Mitch's surf shop on Pearl Street in La Jolla. Oh. And so I bought all the resin and fiberglass, everything I needed to repair that longboard. And to make matter worse, I wanted to do a really good job to this guy. Board had like stripes, like 1/4-inch lines going through the whole deck with different colors.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh my God, I need to impress this guy. So I'm going to do every single line on this deck, and match the color, which I did. I did. Yeah, it took me a month working on one board.
Nice.
It took me 30 days, but I finally finished it. And I delivered to the guy. And that was the beginning of my business. Yeah, because and then he started, sending people to me. And but I had a small space in the back of this house in Pacific Beach. And then later on, I got a space in Sorrento Valley, which is a little bit north of here. It's my first real shop.
Okay. So from that guy, your clientele starts, right? And
yes,
you get a lot of business, and then suddenly you open a shop, right? And which is a fantastic experience for you.
Yes. And then I was putting flyers. It was before social media, I was in 1996. I was putting flyers all over the parking lots, and I had some guys, local repair guys, calling me and all pissed off. You better take your flyers off. Take your flyers down, man. This is my area.
Okay.
I was like, oh, I'll just leave it. Deal with it.
And
if you're gonna beat me on quality and customer service.
Exactly. You cannot keep it forever, right? I mean,
exactly.
Free for everybody to try. But so let's go and speak about the profession. At the beginning of the interview, we said, okay, everybody talks about the surfers, of course, the shapers, but very few people. They talk about the glassing and the people that repair the boards. So we want to give credit in this episode to these people. And so tell me more about the profession of the glasser. Why is so important? Let's speak to I know a lot of people know, but let's if somebody's listening us and it doesn't understand what is a glasser. So tell me more about it.
A glasser is the guy that it's really important to be a glasser. And on the construction of a surfboard, there's the shaper. The guy shapes the board, gives to a glasser. The glasser can make or break a surfboard, on the glassing job. The cloth he's going to use it, the way he's going to glass it. Every step counts. The weight on the sanding. The sander is really important too during the process of glassing a board, of making a surfboard. The sander is like another shaper. The edges he's going to keep on the back, and it's every step. It's really important. We should never discard any step on a construction of a surfboard. Sander is really important, as much as the shaper, as much as the glasser, as much as the guy that hot coats the boards. Every step, it really counts. It's really important.
And by itself is it's an artistic profession, or the shaper is still guiding the glasser and the sander in their job?
Well, the shaper should choose really well who's going to glass his shaped blank. That's really important. Some shapers are really, really meticulous. They're really pain in the butt, to be honest, because they the way they go and weight the board and say, okay, this is not the weight I want. It's a little bit heavier, or sand it more. But I don't blame them. That's their piece of art. They want it finished the way he started. What he has in mind is really important. And for especially the shapers that shape performance boards for pro surfers, for competitor surfers, everything needs to be in place. Everything needs to be in place. Yeah. So the communication between the shaper and the glasser needs to be very clear, very clear.
But I guess every little detail matter, right?
Every little detail matters. Exactly. Yeah.
Then you can have like surfboards on which you can be more forgiving, and other surfboards, if you go to pro surfers, where they need to be perfect. They are
perfect. Exactly. Yeah. You're going to make a fun board for beginners. That's not as critical, or a long board. A long boards, everything is important, but for beginners, for fun boards, the generic boards, it's not that critical.
Yeah, exactly. And so which project for you was a real challenge from a perspective of glassing and sanding? What was do you remember some board that, oh my God, you really work on it very, very hard? That was super important. Maybe for somebody famous, I don't know. What comes to your mind?
Glassing was always a side job of my. Ding repair was always the flagship of my business. Ding repair. Glassing, I glassed my own boards, and I glassed some guys that rented the shaping room that I have. I have 2 shaping rooms here in the factory that I rent out, and usually those guys, they leave the blank behind for me to glass it. I glassed for Del Rey for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
But I was never big into glassing. It wasn't like a full-time thing for me, glassing.
So then let's change the question in repairing and restoration.
Right.
What was the best surfboard that you had in your hand that you said, like, oh my God, this one I want for me?
There were so many incredible boards that came by. The Cat, from Greg Knoll. There were a bunch of Bang boards. So many. Robert August, Skip Fry's. I don't have one in particular that I really say, I want this board, I really don't. There's so many beautiful boards that came by the shop for restorations. There was a GNS Skip Fry single fin that I really like to restore, and at the end I was like, oh my God, this is a beautiful board. I would love to have it.
In effect, you were saying, if you go from the Dakar, of course, Skip Fry, Robert August, these are all super expensive surfboards, you know. So I guess like the surfers pretends that you do a great job, isn't it?
Yeah. And also, I had a Jerry Lopez here last year too. That was really beautiful, really beautiful.
Yeah, because you know, like you get to see them all. You know, it's like from the perspective of we all love surfboards, you know, and from a perspective of a variety, definitely, you know, like you see more surfboards than just an average surfer might see in all his life. You know.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I get some. I'm a shaper. I started shaping 2001, and I really love my boards. I only surf my boards. I
Ah,
really love my boards.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you ship them under which name, which label? Your name?
Well, for years it was Mora Surfboards, Moura, Mora Surfboards. I made a bunch of boards when I had my first shop in Del Mar, fishes and longboards mainly. And then a few years ago, I changed to retro sticks, surfboards. But the funny thing is, I love my boards. I consider myself a good shaper. But once people label you as a repair guy,
Yeah.
okay, it's hard to break that label and say, oh, he's also a shaper. So it's really hard. So I always made custom boards for people and my own boards and all that. But it was always hard to make my how can I say to grow my label as a shaper because people they look at me as a repair guy. You know, you're a great repair guy, you restore boards, but you also a shaper. You understand? It's
Yeah.
not like, oh, he is a shaper, more a surfboards. But when you come from a background of repairing boards, people don't understand that so many designs went through my hands, so many, and all the incredible designs, all the designs that I really liked it, I studied.
Yeah.
I made a template out of it. I studied the bottom contour. I studied the rails. I studied the everything, the foam distribution and everything. So that makes me a great shaper, but people don't see it.
Maybe it's part of your destiny, you know, like
And I'm fine. I'm fine with that. You know, if they recognize me, some of my work as being a great thing, hey, I'm happy. You know, if it's repair, restoration, I'm good with that. I'm fine. Yeah. But I'm my own shaper. I'm always going to shape my own boards because I know what I like it, you know?
what do you like to surf today? You know, like which kind of surfboard do you surf today?
Well, mid-length, okay, mid-length board 7.4, 7.6 for a while. But last year, I don't know if it's because I got older. I got a 10-foot board,
Okay.
okay, that I shaped for this guy, and he wanted lighter, so I made an epoxy board for him, and then I made an epoxy board for myself too, out of that 10-foot template. And I loved that board. It was hard in the beginning, you know, to turn a 24-inch wide, 3-inch thick 10-foot board. But once you get used to it, it's really fun, especially being epoxy. You know, you can switch from right to left so easily. And then I've been enjoying it a lot. I've been surfing Tourmaline, which is a local break here for longboards. The Cliffs is the place where I surf the most. Sunset Cliffs in San Diego. I love that place. It's magical. It's beautiful.
Fantastic. And I was thinking about maybe a silly question. I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of people working inside your shop, you know, your place. And have you ever experienced celebrities coming through that door, or somebody like you were not expecting to walk in?
Well, I had a Skip Fry coming by my shop one day.
Like, wow,
Well, I was working, and I see that guy looking, kind of sneaking in and looking through the little window that I have on my sending room. It's like, can I help you? It's like, oh, Skip, what's up, Skip? Oh, thanks for keeping all my Skip fries looking good. I was like, oh, come on, Skip, that's my job, man. I love it. Yeah, it's like, oh, here's some money for us. No, 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 no. You have to give me some $50 for it. Here's 50. Say, no, no, that's okay, Skip. That's my job. I enjoy doing it. It's okay. That was a very memorable
Of course,
day there. That was memorable day.
you would not
Yeah.
expect him to enter, of course, and checking out your job.
He
It's like,
sneaks in my sitting room and like, just looking at me like, what's up, Skip? Oh, I just want to thank you for keeping all these Skip fries looking good. Because I do a lot of repairs and restorations on Skip fries. Yeah.
you want me, one of them is a masterpiece, like
Yeah. Yeah.
fantastic, legendary name. And do you have any particular project for the future? Maybe expand or do something else? I mean, still in
I do. I do have
what you're planning.
retire.
No, come on. You're
I'm
young.
62. I'm 62. It's tough, man. I don't think I ever gonna stop repairing boards and do what I do. Although I'm gonna retire probably this year, get Social Security. I'm not gonna stop working. Yeah, 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 yeah.
If you
If I have any projects, I do have some projects. Teaching. I love teaching.
okay,
I love passing on what I learned in life. You know, if I have an opportunity to start teaching people repairs, well, I do already offer, but people don't take on that. I don't know why people just don't. Maybe it's the way I'm putting out, advertising it. I don't know, but I'm busy enough repairing and restoring right now.
like I heard that universities out there in California, they do courses of surfboard shaping, not because they want to create the new class of surfboard shapers, but because is teaching them a way of doing craft with their hands. So it's just like maybe not courses, and on the discipline. So you might try that way one day,
Well, but
you have to make profits.
but that's what that I don't understand. I offered shaping classes for years. Years. I'm a really good teacher. All the people that took my classes, they went on to be shapers, but people don't know about it.
Ah, okay. But then let's.
People don't know. I even know I was surfing the other day and I hear those two guys talking to each other. Oh, did you hear there is a shaping class at UCSD? And then I looked at the guy and said, hey, I teach shaping, man. I've been teaching for so many years. But we're back to that thing again. You were a repair guy. You repair boards. So if you repair boards, you cannot be a shaper. You cannot teach shaping. You cannot do anything else. I don't know. That's my conclusion on that.
I see. I see.
Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe it's because I'm not advertising the way I should.
Maybe maybe somebody will listen to this podcast and give you a call.
I know. I teach shape. I've been giving classes, offering classes for years.
Okay.
Only a few people took advantage of that.
Let's hope people listen, and then your phone will ring, and then you will not retire, and then you will call me and say, Alessandro, remove the podcast from online. Too much.
I know. And I also rent rooms here, two nice shaping rooms for rent. And they're always empty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm always underground. I guess it's my nature to just stay underground, and I need to hire someone to take care of that side of my business,
But then if you're gonna retire, what you gonna do in your free time? Just surf.
I'm gonna surf. I'm gonna I want to restore boards only. Get a smaller shop and only do 2 boards a month, or maybe 1 or 2 boards a month, restore boards,
Okay. Take it
which
easy.
I'm really good at it.
Okay. Fantastic. It's a good thing. We're gonna finish our interview with a classical Q&A session, question and answer. So please answer the first thing that comes up to your mind. Many of these questions, I think you're already answered, but what to do? We will remind the listeners about your favorite stuff. So the best surfboard that you ever rode.
My styrofoam board.
Your favorite surfer of all time.
Mark Richards.
Nice. Personal question. Your favorite song or kind of music?
Pink Floyd.
Any particular song or all of them?
Dark Side of the Moon.
Okay, that classic. I like that. You already told us your favorite surf spot. I think I know the answer.
Sunset Cliffs.
Okay. Favorite shaper of all time. And here I don't want to put you in trouble. So, but tell me.
I like Stewart's boards.
Okay. And the last question is a little bit unusual. I'd like to know your best relationship advice.
The best relationship advice? Okay.
Don't leave your girlfriend at 11:30 in the middle of Connecticut while
Don't try to be right. Be happy.
Yes, I totally agree with you. I totally agree. Thank you, Mauricio, for this.
Just be happy. Just be happy instead of being right.
It's simple, as simple as it seems is complicated in effect, right? So
yes, yeah.
But thank you so much for being on the show with me today, and I look forward to seeing you very soon.
Thank you so much, Alessandro, for the opportunity. Okay,
fantastic.
I always wanted someone to interview me. Thank you.
And we did it.
A chance for me to tell my story. Finally, someone gave it to me, and it was you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Ciao. Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care.
Hi, it's me again. I hope you enjoyed our today's episode. If you want to know more about us, please follow www.thetempleofsurf.com and all our social media. Mahalo!